Hello viewers, this is Athan Immortal, and welcome to episode 2 of the Crew PC beta. This video picks up right after the first episode. You're delivered by taxi with a curiously V8 sounding engine to a warehouse where you can pick your first car. There's a selection of 4. I spent about 20 minutes test driving them and comparing the various specifications, which I've condensed to a few minutes. There's a 2010 Chevrolet Camaro SS, reasonably powerful but also quite heavy. A 2013 Nissan 350Z Z34, the lowest power and torque of all, but also the lightest. A 2011 Ford Mustang GT, slightly lower power than the Camaro but over 200 pounds lighter. And finally, a 2012 Dodge Challenger SRT8 392. The most powerful, highest top speed and best 0 to 60 time, but also the heaviest car by nearly 300 pounds. In racing games, I've always been one to balance out raw power with handling. Straight line speed means nothing if you can't turn a corner, so I was leaning towards the Ford Mustang. On test driving, the Camaro felt very heavy in the corners, and I couldn't imagine myself having much fun with it. The Nissan, as suspected, was much sharper handling on corners, but lacked the power to get up to speed after them. It did however match the Camaro's top speed, which was interesting. The Ford Mustang was surprisingly good, taking corners well with power to match. However, I found that it couldn't get up to its claimed top speed of 150 miles an hour and topped out around 143, slower than the Nissan. I was a bit sceptical of the Dodge. Despite the great top speed and power stats, I thought the weight would show in the corners. However, when I actually drove the car, I had the most fun with it. It handled similar to the Mustang in the corners, could power out of the corners easily, and was also the fastest of all 4. So despite my initial reservations on paper, I chose the Dodge Challenger as the car I'd like to drive across America, which is what this was all leading up to. A quick trip to the tuners to change it into a street spec car, and the game was finally ready to release me into free drive mode, with access to the full map of America. At this point I decided to stop following the story and start exploring. Here's the gameplay.
If you want to climb the ranks quickly, you need to team up with other 510s. You can use the players list to help you locate nearby members and form crews. Working together, you will improve your chances in missions and earn bigger rewards. With your crew, you can explore the world, find landmarks, and complete missions, events, and skills to earn XP, bucks, and car parts.
Alright.
Okay, Alex. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's get your ink. The first mission's on your map.
And I'm going to ignore it because you've given me America. So I'm going to go off story at this point and start looking at what has been the biggest push of this game so far, which is its sheer scale. I think Chicago is reasonably close by. There we go. And I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I play a game called Watch Dogs. You might have seen it around on the channel. And so I'm reasonably familiar with Chicago. There's the river. So, I just want to see if they've got, I think they'll have the ambience of each city kind of different, so it'll be interesting to see that. But the crew's biggest touted feature is the sheer scale of this map. This is still, I suspect I've probably got enough footage to do 2 or 3 episodes by this point. This is still my my first play session. I will probably cut down the amount of test driving that I did there. I've learned too many times that you can pick the wrong car. Whoops. You can pick the wrong car so easily and then it just ruins the game, so I really want to spend a bit of time with that. Well, the GPS wants me to go the wrong way on an off-ramp. Alright, we'll follow it this time. But I was so afraid of picking the wrong car that I really wanted to spend a bit of time choosing the car. And I didn't think I would pick the Dodge based on those stats. But it surprised me how much fun it was to actually drive it, so... Whoop. Whoops! I don't want another slalom skill, so do that. Oh, hang on. It's a speed skill. And I have a car with the highest top speed because I was very careful about my test driving. Oh, don't go too far. And those cars that I just went by have disappeared. Okay. Get a bit of speed up and hit the mark. Drive fast, stay on the road. I think I can manage that. So that's the gold medal ghost in front of me, so I don't know if I'm going to catch that. That's obviously a bit of a higher level car. I think I'm into silver. Oh, am I going to get gold? Oh, didn't even get silver. Okay. Oh, that's quite a good... Oh, and I can't use it. Send part to HQ. Okay. I don't want to spend my time talking about editing notes, but I will probably condense down the test driving that I did. We'll get rid of that. Condense down test driving. I'll probably cut out the HQ and everything. There's basically, they walk you through, you know, the HQ, this is where you can upgrade your car, yada yada, the kind of standard stuff you would expect from an open world game like this and a racer. You've got a base of operations and how it's going to work, and now we are finally into the free open game. We've got another skill coming up here. Is this a slalom? Oh, okay, well, not off to the greatest start. Oops. There we go. Car's handling quite well. Car definitely feels heavy, but it's fun. It's fun to be able to put your foot down and the car responds well to that, especially in a racing game. It's meant to be a bit of a fantasy, so get around there. Am I going to get the gold? Got the gold! Hey! Differential part level 5, so still I can't use it, but just send that to send that to HQ. Getting better at getting the menus off the screen, and we have a left turn, so I'll just handbrake it. Whee! Well, I think we can see Chicago in the distance there. So I'm still in my first play session here. After when I come back for my next one, I will plug in my controller, but at the moment I'm still actually on keyboard for this, so I'm still using the sport level of handling. When I plug in my controller, I will actually switch it to hardcore and just see what that's like as well. Over here, is that us? Yeah. Are we at the top of Chicago? Oh no, we're not. No, we're nearly there though. What's that? An escape skill. Leave that just now. But we're nearly at Chicago. So that's a reasonably short little hop over to Chicago, though. I mean, obviously they're right next to each other. It'll be interesting to see that. I think if I was to actually characterise what this game feels like, and I've kind of suspected this for a while, but this game feels an awful lot like Driver San Francisco. If any of you have played that, or if you perhaps, I don't know if they had a PC demo for it, but if you have an old console, a PS3 or an Xbox 360 lying around, I believe that the single player demos are still on the respective stores. So if you didn't get into the beta for this and you want an idea just for the feeling and the handling of the crew, it's very similar. It's very, very similar to that. I mean, I've even noticed some similarities in the sounds, but the way that the head moves, the look of the internals, the look of the cities is the kind of level that was there in San Francisco. It's as if they took Driver San Francisco and just expanded the engine up to include the whole of the United States. So right, we're just coming up here on, oh, look at that. It's funny how games like Grand Theft Auto and I mean other open world games and everything like that, and the crews you can see can so quickly take you from you know, countryside into a city centre like this. Whoop. Seem to be getting away with quite a lot here. 150 miles an hour through the centre of Chicago. But just a change in the ambience, and you don't really notice that in any real world you couldn't possibly have a city centre like this within 30 seconds of coming off of such countryside. There'd be a kind of gradual build up. So let's see here. Whoa! Get out of the way. So the streets are nice. Got a little alleyway here. Let's have a look in here. Sometimes you can tell a lot about an open world game by its back passage. That came out wrong. Oh, let's get out here. I've exited Chicago's back passage. I had a totally different point to make there. I didn't mean that. When Grand Theft Auto 4 first came out, I was really impressed by the level of detail that was in the places that you perhaps wouldn't have looked. Right, I've come up to the point here. I was very impressed by all the little back alleys and all the detail that was in them, and these were the things that you ran past. So that's Mother Road 66. So the city of Chicago is quite a few city blocks wide, and several, I mean, it's even taller than it is wide, so plenty of room in there to make lots of racing courses and challenges and everything. I think there's plenty going to be going on there. So I will set a waypoint for down beside Lake Michigan, and that'll take me through the city centre as well. Whoops. There we go. The car's handle and respond pretty well on the sport setting for the assists. Just go around here. There we go. Seem to handle pretty well in the sport, using keyboard for controls. So, as I've said, I will make a point tomorrow of driving to New York with the Xbox One controller and try it on a harder difficulty setting. They've really managed to strike a nice ambience in the setting here, though. It's just a little matter of bring the car to a halt. very quick look here. I don't know if it'll be really coming across on the screen, but there's a kind of film graininess to the darkness, and I was just looking to see if it was something that could be turned off, but I guess not, or that might be something in the final game. But right, got a left turn here to go to the seafront. But I will say that Chicago feels different from Detroit, and I'm hoping that New York will feel different again. They seem to have really managed to strike up a nice ambience and this great feeling of being in a city. Well, that's nice over there as well. All those lights. Is that Detroit? Unlikely at that distance, but it's probably just meant to be decoration, like ships on the lake or something. Or it could be some industrial stuff over there, I don't know. But they really seem to have hit this very nicely, this mark. I was just seeing if I could get through there. And Watch Dogs, I'd be able to crash that through. But ever since the crew's been announced, I've been really interested in the sheer size of it, which is what I wanted to explore in the beta. And so far, I mean, the amount of detail that is in this city alone as I'm looking around, you know, some games, some AAA games would have had this, and this would have been the entire game. I'm concerned, obviously, that they fill it with enough interesting things to do, but I'm going to go to New York in the next episode for sure and see how that looks, and then I'll see about doing a cross-country drive as well, stopping at a few places. Wow, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. We'll see you in the next episode. Hello viewers, this is Athan Immortal, and welcome to Ubisoft's closed beta of The Crew. Roads? Where we are going, we don't need roads.